Welcome to Poul's Kitchen. This is Chef Poul, and with me is myself. Everybody's either in bed or away, so I got to do this myself. So we're going to be making some apple pie today. This is going to be a little bit of a new experience for me because I'm not quite sure I know what I'm doing, but we'll see. I think I got this. So first off, we're going to make our crust. So first off, I've got 2 cups of flour. It's probably more than I need based on the fact that this recipe, I don't have an actual pie pan, so I don't have that. Then I've got a 1/4 cup of stevia. Now, if you're not diabetic, then don't worry about it at all. You don't have to have it. So mix this up pretty good here. Personally, I don't think you even need stevia, but this is a new recipe and I really want to try this. Like, I'm sitting here by myself and it's kind of depressing and boring, so I'm going to try to do this because I'm kind of excited. You don't need any rolling pins. I've got 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And you really want to make sure you're taking your time to actually mix this appropriately. And you just put this right in the pan that you're using this on. Now, I've got a couple of water here, and I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to need. So I'm just going to gradually put a little bit in. And the idea is we're going to do this until it starts clumping. We don't need to use a whole lot of water. Probably not going to need a whole lot of anything. Maybe you need a little bit, maybe not. But we want this until it clumps. So we're going to need some more water, but it's kind of hard to measure exactly how much. If you go too crazy, then you're going to need to have more flour put in, and that's not always the best solution, but that's what's going to end up happening. By the way, guys, I'm not a baker, but you know what? I'm going to ask one of my baker friends who is out in Colorado, and he's actually an amazing baker. If you're out in the area, he's got a shop, and reach out and I'll give you some information how to contact him. And I'll tell you, like, this is really good. This is going to be a really good recipe, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, like, if you want professional grade quality, this guy is awesome. He might actually ship, but he's in the States. So if you're local, I mean, because if you're coming from Canada, I'm sure it's going to cost an arm and a leg for shipping. That's the only reason I say that. But I have more respect and trust for him. His name's Mike. And he's like one of the best bakers in the world. Shout out to Mike. If I'm ever going to, well, actually, you know what? Not even just that. If I could be half the man this guy is, I'd be super satisfied. My goal is to try to make Mikey proud of me for trying this, but we'll see. Now, the goal here is you want to get as much of the flour clumped as you can, because otherwise someone's going to bite into your pie and get a bunch of flour in their mouth, and I'm telling you right now, that's not going to taste really good. You can go into poulskitchen.com and you can look for the recipe, because everything I'm doing here, I'll leave some annotations on things, how to fix it when I know I'm going to mess up, but, you know, maybe I won't. We'll see. Maybe this will turn out right, and this actually looks like it might. Now, if you're getting something from Mike, it won't be this quality. It will be much better. He's a professional baker. I'm a cook. I am not a baker at all. But nothing's open. Can't really go anywhere for a walk in the warm today. Canada's still somewhat cold, and I think I've got enough water. I'm probably going to have to do another one of these at the end just to get a little bit of a crust for the top, because this is a pie. All right, so from here, I'm going to use my hand and I'm going to smooth this out and actually make the crust. So, of course, this is just me, so Amy's in bed sleeping and Alex is not here, so I need to use my hands for a minute, so I will be right back. I'm not going to stop the video, I'm just going to talk, but you won't see me. It's actually turning out much better than I actually anticipated. So, I didn't like using my hands very much, but I'm going to use a spatula, and I'm going to use the spatula to try to level it out a little bit more and try to get some on the sides. Now, just to let you know, I'm going to be using 6 cups of apples. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to peel them. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. While I'm doing this, please consider visiting our website, www.poulskitchen.com, to check our books out. And we appreciate that. Now, I might have to come here and bake this, and I'll let you know if I'm wrong, and I do, but I don't think so. But I have to go back and read where I got the original recipe from. So, anyways, that's our crust. If not, and I'll be back in, like, actually, give me 2 seconds. One moment, guys. Do I have to bake pie crust before filling? Okay, so you do have to do it, so bear with me one moment. Let's say, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to preheat the oven to 400. Once that's done, we're going to bake that for 6 minutes. And then take it out. So I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way. So that's there waiting to be done. So we're going to bake it. We'll put it out in a tray. When it's done, I'm not going to come back for that, but I will come back when I'm ready for the apples. Remember, we need 6 cups. So thank you very much, and we'll be back when we're ready to start the rest. And welcome back. So before we begin, let's hit that like, share, subscribe button. Visit www.poulskitchen.com and check our cookbooks that we got on there. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to put this on medium heat, and I'm going to use my wok on this because, well, it's just going to make it easier. Now for the hardest bits of all, I have to put my phone down to do this, but I've got like 3 tablespoons of butter. And unfortunately, this is a lot of fun because I don't have any help right now. So I've got a 1/4 cup of stevia. I don't need a whole lot. And I do want to add another sweetener to this. So I'm going to drizzle some honey on there. You can use margarine, by the way. It's not a big deal. Not what a lot of other people want to claim it is, but it's not. And I'm going to try to put in 1 teaspoon of cloves. And I'm really sorry. I usually like a camera person here, but it's not always possible. Give me a second. Cinnamon doesn't want to open. And we want to put 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Cinnamon's always a good thing. It always makes things taste better. And if you're diabetic, cinnamon really does actually help. And by the way, you want to keep mixing here. And there's our pizza crust. It's going to cook more once we get things in here. It's the first time I'm making apple pie, so don't be too harsh on me. I am trying. Alright, and now we're going to put some allspice in. And I want about 2 tablespoons worth of that in here because allspice is really good. And finally, the secret trick, I like 2 tablespoons of nutmeg. Nutmeg is awesome. Anything you're using with apples, or really a lot of other things too, but to be honest with you, anything that I'm using with apples is always, I'm always going to have nutmeg in it. I love the aroma, I love the flavor. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of water, maybe a little bit more. Now we want to give this a good mix because next comes the apples, and this is going to be a little fun here. And I'm probably going to put the phone down for this because I don't want to splash over the place because that just makes a real mess. Oh, I can probably do it. So I'm just going to gently try to put the apples in. I don't exactly have the biggest pan in the world, so if I had a full pizza, or pardon me, a pie plate, then I would probably try to cook this out better. So the whole idea here is to start cooking and mixing your solution in here as best you can. Because there is another step we have to do after, but I kind of want everything mixed, and I want the apples to start going soft first. If you haven't made enough, you can certainly put more in here. I think I have enough. I think I used like 5 apples, so that should be enough. You want to have them pitted and peeled. If you don't have enough, then that's not a big deal either. Believe me, you can eat this without pie crust. If you're diabetic, you'll probably enjoy it more anyways. But I think this is going to go well. So what you're going to do here is, I'm going to let this go to a simmer. And then we'll come back for the next step after here, because there's really not a whole lot to do here. Apple pie is a lot easier to do. Unless you're making crust, then yes, it can be a little bit of a pain. I'm probably not going to make a top crust. I don't really want to. I probably would have went to the store and buy it, but it's Good Friday, you can't. So I'm just going to be lazy. I'm not going to bother with that because I really don't need it anyways. Being diabetic, more crust is not always a good thing. So from here, just let this simmer down here. Now another key point is you can also take the initiative here, and you can actually cut your apples a little smaller. That's not a big deal. So one more thing to add, and we'll be back. When we're back, so this is softened down quite a bit. Now what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 and then hit bake. It's probably not going to take too long. Now this is my slurry. It is a 1/4 cup of water and a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. So I'm going to dump this in here, well, very gently. You want to make sure you stir that really, really good, because otherwise it's going to be a pain. And what we want to do here is we want to start mixing this in here. And this is going to thicken our pie filling up quite a bit. And like I said, I'm not going to make a top for it. Why? Because I'm feeling lazy, and I would have bought the pie crust because I'm just not in the mood to do it. And this is thickening up pretty darn fast. You'll see that this filling is actually really coming together very thick. Now we're going to bake this on 350 degrees, and we're going to do it for 30 minutes. Now, with that being said, you want to, every 10 minutes or so, every so often, go back in and check it out. I'm going to add a little bit of water now. It's thickening up a little bit too much, for my liking anyways. Now, we used a 1/4 cup of stevia, which using stevia is going to, it makes it sweeter. So, a lot of people say you need half of what you need with stevia than you would need for sugar. I say you only need 1/4, but if you want things even sweeter, then use a half a cup of stevia. There's no problem with that. If you're not diabetic and you don't really care too much, then, you know, by all means, use a cup of sugar. Not a big deal. All right, I'm going to put my phone down because I'm going to be pouring this into the crust. Now I'm going to say I believe I said I used 5 apples. I might use 8 apples for a regular size pie crust, because you'll see in a second that this really would have been a problem. If this was a regular pie crust, I'd have to do this process over again just to get more. I don't like doing, but it is what it is. This would be where I'd put a pie crust on here, but how's that look? I think that looks really amazing. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to wait for 350, and then I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to time it for 30 minutes. And again, you're going to pay attention. 350, sorry. You're going to pay attention, because you don't want this to burn. You really don't. But this is going to taste really, really good. So as soon as I hit 350, throw her in, time it for 30 minutes, and I'll keep an eye on it, and we're going to be back when that's out of the oven. Thank you very much. Again, please hit the like, share, subscribe. And we're done. So this is our apple pie. I think it turned out great. It might have been better if I wasn't so lazy and actually put a top on it, but you know what? That's fine. It's still edible, and it still looks great. I mean, it absolutely looks amazing. I can't wait to taste it. Amy doesn't even know I'm making this. She's still sleeping. She's still got another hour and a half left, so it's not a big deal. I might actually go back with her. I'm getting a little tired too. But just hit the like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Please hit up www.poulskitchen.com. Check out our cookbooks on the upper right-hand corner. But this looks great. It was actually really easy to make, and I hope you guys actually try this and enjoy this yourselves. You know what? If you want to get your own crust, if you want to do the same thing and make a top for it, that works too. Just remember to make some slits on the top of it. So thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.